Give your inner food critic a name and use it whenever it shows up. Okay, so if you're like 5 years old, this is like playing make-believe. My inner food critic needs a name. Call it Chundergunch. You can call it Chunder for short. We got a post here. We got a series from Intuitively Eaten. Now I know.
What's your name, fat body?
Yeah, it's Intuitively Eaten. Intuitively Eaten. This person's value system comes from their ability to eat food and not feel guilty about it. So if that tells you enough about their purpose in life, this first cover says 5 ways you can stand up to your inner food critic. Should you really be eating that? Probably not. If you're concerned about, like, should I really be eating this? You probably shouldn't be eating that. If you're focusing on the quality foods and the foods that you should be eating, real food for a human fucking being, there's a reason why you might feel guilty or be like, maybe I shouldn't eat that, because you probably fucking shouldn't. If you're wondering, if you're thinking, I wonder if this should be in my mouth. I never think twice. Should this steak be in my mouth? Should this sweet potato be in my mouth? Never even thought about it, because it should be in my fucking mouth. It should be in my stomach and should be coming out my butthole eventually. But if you're thinking, I don't know if I should eat this, then you probably shouldn't. Just saying. Give up your inner food critic. Give your inner food critic a name and use it whenever it shows up. Okay, so if you're like 5 years old, this is like playing make-believe. My inner food critic needs a name. Call it Chundergunch. You can call it Chunder for short. Challenge black and white thinking about food. Be very careful. You're about to get into race categories here. Challenge black and white thinking around food. Challenge it. Things must be challenged. It must be challenged. You must challenge these things. How about challenge yourself and walk up a flight of stairs? How about that? Intentionally replace the judgmental voice in the inner food critic with a more gentle, compassionate, and nurturing voice, aka just pussify yourself. Just be a huge pussy. Make it more gentle, compassion, nurturing, so it doesn't hurt my feelings. My inner food critic. Don't want it to hurt my feelings. Shift your focus to the positive aspects of food, such as satisfaction, enjoyment, pleasure, and engaging your senses. Okay. Always investigate and question what the inner food critic tells you. Always investigate. Yo, do any of these people have fucking jobs? Do any of these people have a fucking job? Like sitting around investigating their inner food critic. Go get a job. Go produce something of value to society. For God's sake, sitting around investigating your imaginary person inside you. This imaginary food critic. What the fuck is this, like restaurant takeover or some shit? All right. Is the information backed up by scientific evidence, or has it simply come from anecdotes, diet books, and unqualified influencer or the latest wellness trend? Because the person that is giving a calm, nurturing voice to their inner food critic knows how to read scientific evidence, because that person knows how to break down scientific studies and trials. Sure. Sure, because that person knows what the fuck is going on. All right, your inner food critic, aka the food police, is your mean, this is the caption by the way, is your mean and judgmental inner voice, which works to strictly uphold and monitor the long list of arbitrary rules that diet culture has created. This voice is trapped in binary thinking. We got to make it non-binary, fam. And categorizes food as good or bad and healthy or unhealthy, as it should be. It's helpful to challenge black and white thinking around food and focus on the shades of gray and finding a middle way. Okay, Buddha. A lot of the time, the food information it spouts off isn't even factual or accurate. It's rather based in pseudoscience. Kind of like this inner food critic that you're giving a name to. Sounds like Harvey or something, just like this invisible fucking rabbit you're referring to. Recognizing and challenging this critical voice is a vital step to rediscovering the intuitive eater within. This voice can be very sneaky and manipulative. When it pops up, it's important to get into a conversation with it. This person's talking to themselves. Know how to detach from it and realize that it's not you. It's your inner food critic. This is why you might like to give your inner food critic a name so you can differentiate it from your voice. Something mean and unforgiving. Do you have a name for your inner food critic? Purple heart, yellow heart. Jesus Christ.
We stay woke, but y'all sleep. Real emo, but y'all sheep. Out in public, she a good girl, but at the crib, she a real freak. New throne for the new king. Same kid, now my streets go. Same gang, got the cheat code. I said stay woke, we in real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. I said stay woke, real emo. Stay woke, real emo. Hey, y'all some jokers, y'all a bunch of clowns. You will not get a laugh out of me. You can talk, but you can't denounce. I live a different theology. Why I transferred to a new account? You just fucked over a prodigy. Posted up with a rented crown. You are the king of apology. You about to